In 1802, a British chemist named Humphry Davy created the first electric light in history. It was blinding. It burned out in minutes, and it was far too dangerous for anyone's home. For the next 70 years, inventors across the world chased the same impossible goal. In England, a chemist named Joseph Swan had been chasing this same dream since 1850. His early bulbs glowed, but only for minutes before burning out. The vacuum technology of the time simply wasn't good enough. By the mid-1870s, better vacuum pumps finally became available, and Swan returned to his obsession. In late 1878, Swan successfully demonstrated a working incandescent lamp to the public in England. At almost exactly the same time, 4,000 miles away in New Jersey, another inventor had entered the race. Thomas Edison had assembled a team, and unlike Swan, he wasn't just chasing a working bulb. He wanted an entire lighting system. Edison's team tested thousands of materials, searching for the perfect filament that could glow for hours without breaking. Edison found his answer: a carbonized bamboo filament that could glow for over 1,000 hours. Edison lit up his entire laboratory complex, the first large-scale public demonstration of electric light in America. Edison filed for his American patent. So did Swan, on the other side of the ocean, for his own version in Britain. Two men, working almost entirely independently, had arrived at strikingly similar solutions to the exact same problem. When Edison tried to sell his bulbs in England, Swan's lawyers pushed back hard, and the courts sided firmly with Swan's patent.
This patent certificate proves my client's exclusive right.
The two rivals struck an unlikely deal. In 1883, their companies merged in Britain to form Edison and Swan United. Back in America, Edison needed serious money to build an entire electrical system: generators, wires, meters, and power stations. Enter J. Pierpont Morgan, one of the most powerful financiers in America, and a man who quietly began investing in Edison's growing empire. In 1882, inside Morgan's own office, a room full of investors held their breath as Edison prepared to switch on his first power plant. The lights came on, the room erupted. America's first commercial power station was alive. Edison's company began wiring entire city blocks, determined to make electric light available to everyone. A competing electrical system using a fundamentally different, more efficient kind of current. Edison's system ran on direct current. His rivals were betting everything on something new: alternating current. What followed became known as the War of Currents, a bitter, very public battle for the future of electricity itself. Edison's direct current system was safer at low voltage, but incredibly expensive and inefficient over long distances. Alternating current could travel much farther, much more cheaply, and slowly, it began winning over investors and cities alike. By the early 1890s, Edison's own company was bleeding money in a costly, drawn-out battle it was quietly losing. Behind the scenes, Morgan had grown tired of the losses and began quietly negotiating with Edison's biggest rival. In 1892, Morgan orchestrated a merger between Edison's company and its largest alternating current rival. The new company needed a new name. When the papers were finalized, one detail was quietly, deliberately left out. Edison reportedly learned, not from Morgan himself, that his own name had been removed from the company entirely. The company he built from nothing, the invention that made him famous worldwide, now belonged to a name that wasn't his. Edison stayed on the board for a few more years, then quietly stepped away from the lighting business entirely. General Electric, however, thrived, growing into one of the largest and most powerful companies in American history. Today, nearly every light in every building on Earth traces its lineage back to that century-long race between rival inventors. Yet most people still credit just one name with an invention that, in truth, took dozens of brilliant minds and one ruthless banker to fully realize. Joseph Swan, meanwhile, is remembered as a footnote in most classrooms. despite lighting an entire theater and his own home years before Edison's famous demonstration. The truth is far more interesting than the myth. Two brilliant men racing each other from opposite sides of an ocean, both arriving at the same extraordinary idea. The next time you flip a switch, remember, the story behind that simple click is far stranger and far more human than the one we were taught in school. Before any of this began, cities at night were lit only by flickering, smoky gas lamps. Every evening, lamplighters walked the streets by hand, lighting thousands of flames one by one. Early electric arc lights were tried in a few factories and streets, but they were too harsh, too dangerous, and too expensive for everyday use. In 1840, a British scientist named Warren de la Rue built a working bulb using platinum, but the metal was simply too expensive to ever be practical. For the next several decades, inventor after inventor tried their own version, most forgotten entirely by history. Patent records from this era list dozens of names now lost to time, each one adding a small piece to the puzzle. What made Edison different wasn't just the bulb itself. It was his relentless, obsessive approach to solving every problem at once. His team reportedly tested over 6,000 different plant fibers alone, searching for the perfect filament material. Edison didn't just invent a better bulb. He invented the electric meter, the power station, and the entire business model that made home electricity possible. City after city began replacing gas lamps with electric light, forever changing what nighttime looked like for millions of people.